Hi, my name is Gary Eckstein from organicweb.com.au. I'm a Mailchimp Pro partner and a digital marketing consultant. In today's Q&A, I'm going to be answering some questions I get asked often about Mailchimp customer journeys or automations. The questions I'm going to be answering are as follows. What's the difference between customer journeys and classic automations? How do I tag customers based on where they signed up? How do I automatically add all new subscribers to all groups? And last off, why is the birthday customer journey grayed out? On the first question, what's the difference between customer journeys and classic automations? Right, so in Mailchimp, if you logged into Mailchimp and you click on automations to the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see what I'm seeing on the screen, which is customer journeys. If we click create, there are two types of, let's call them automations we can create in Mailchimp, customer journey and classic automation. The difference between the two is that customer journeys are the new way of doing automated marketing in Mailchimp. Classic is the old way. Mailchimp is advancing customer journeys. So they introduced it a while back and they're adding more and more functionality to customer journeys. So that's the way we're going to do things going forwards. Classic automations is still in place because certain functionality is not yet in the customer journey builder. Just by the way, I'm using Mailchimp using what's called the standard plan. You may be using a different plan, so you may see something slightly different. If I click on customer journey, and I'll just quickly start creating a customer journey to describe the difference. I'll choose a starting point. So we choose a starting point in our customer journey. We choose a starting point, and then we use the visual builder to add different things. In the classic automation, we would see something like this, where we can click a predefined series or something that's already there. It's a slightly older builder, as it were. So if I click welcome new subscribers, I can choose a single email and onboarding series or an educational, but let me just choose my audience, click begin just to show you the difference. And this will load up in a second. So in the new one, just while we're waiting for that to load up, just in the new builder, you can see you can have multiple starting points. In the old builder, you can't. You could only have one. So here, for example, we could say, if our starting point was tags, we could say if they tagged Australia, or if they tagged USA, do something like that. We can add if-else statements. So if they have, the source column was survey, send them this email. You can wait, which is wait until something happens, until they tagged, until they join a group, something like that. You can delay, wait a week, wait 10 days. And under the actions, you can send an email, add or remove a tag, or add or remove from a group. Now, in the old builder, you could only send an email. There wasn't a wait, but there was a delay, and there wasn't if or else. And it was a very linear sort of process. So here we just sort of set it up. Or if we have multiple, let me just take a step back. And if we're adding multiple, let's do an onboarding series, and we'll just click Gary's demo, click begin. And what we'll see in a second, that it was very linear. We had one starting point, we send the next email, we can send the next email, and so on. And it'll load in a second. My internet's a little bit slow. So it's a little bit different and not as many features. So if you can, use customer journeys. But eventually, I'm imagining anyway, eventually that Mailchimp will sort of retire automations in some way or migrate automatically everyone across to customer journeys. So on to our second question. How do I tag customers based on where they signed up? Right, let me illustrate this. Let me go to an audience. So how do I tag subscribers based on when they signed up? And I've been asked this question a lot lately. So I'll click View Contacts. What we're concerned with here is in every audience we have a source column where they signed up. So you can see that this person here was signed up via a survey they filled. This person was via copy and paste, This was via a pop-up form, and so on. So the question involves, based on where they signed up, because you might have multiple forms, you might have multiple integrations, Salesforce, Eventbrite, a certain form, a landing page, etc. Based on where they signed up, you might want to tag them automatically so that you could send them maybe emails based on their tags in the future. So we can use a customer journey to tag people based on the source column. Let's do that. Let's go into automations, and I'll just very quickly demonstrate. We click create, and if I click create customer journey, I can call this anything I want to. Tag example. You would call it something that's meaningful to you. We click start building. We choose our starting point. So what we want to say is, as soon as someone signs up, look at their source column, and if it matches a certain criteria, tag them as something. So what we can do here is say, when they sign up, but where, so we click get more specific about who can enter this map, but where contacts from a custom segment, and we look for, under choose, we look for sign up source. So where the sign up source was, and you would select the sign up source. So let's say it's via a pop-up form. So where the sign up source was a pop-up form, click save, and I'll click save starting point. So when they signed up, and where the sign up source was pop-up form, and I can click add or remove a tag, and I could just tag them here. So I'll click the plus, click add or remove a tag, choose the tag I want them to be tagged with. So you need to predefine or pre-add your tags. So let's go existing customer, and we would add them. Click save. Nice and easy. So you can do that for each source. If the source column is this, then just tag them as that, and we would click continue. Nice and easy. Next question. How do I automatically add all new subscribers to all groups? Okay, so let me describe this one. Looking at an audience in Mailchimp, we have something called the Preferences Center. And I do have a separate video on this that you can watch, which goes into detail. But essentially, the Preferences Center is a way in Mailchimp that we can say, we can ask people to tell us what kind of communication they want to receive. So if a person, you can basically set up what we call groups in Mailchimp, saying, are you interested in this, 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 or this? And the person can either check them all or just check some of them. When we send an email to a person, they can click the update profile link in the email. They'll be taken to what's called the Preferences Center, where they can change their options. No, I don't want to unsubscribe from everything. I want to just get this and this and this marketing, but not that. What it relies on, and I'm going to click View Contacts. What it relies on is something called groups. So if I click Manage Contact Groups, I have some groups, but I could create a new group. Okay, so I'm going to click View Groups. And I've got some here. This was just an example of luxury, budget, and family. So the question is, how do we automatically add all new subscribers to all groups? So this is the assumption that if someone subscribes, we're not going to ask them what they actually want to get. We want to just automatically add them to everything. And at any stage, they can then just come and change that and say, no, I don't want to get that or that. So how do I automatically add them to all communication? You can do that with a customer journey. So we want to add, as soon as someone signs up, automatically add them to all groups. Let's go into our automations. We'll click create. We'll click customer journey. We can call this anything. I'll just call it groups for now. Oh, there we go. Choose our audience. Click start building. We choose a starting point. So when every time someone signs up, we click Save Starting Point. And what we want to do here is under Actions to the left-hand side of the screen, we want to add or remove from a group. So we click that. We click the plus where we want that to happen. We click Add to or remove from a group. Right, which group do we want to add them to? Luxury, for example. Action, add them. Save. So that's just one of our groups. So we want to add them to all those three I happen to have. So I need to click again, add to or remove from group. Click the plus where I want it to happen. Click add to or remove from group. Click the next group, budget. click the action, which is add, click save, and let's do it for that very last group. And we can click add to remove from group, click the plus, click add to remove from group. We will choose our very last favorite travel type here of family, click add, click save. So now we could click continue and save this. So what happens here is that as anyone signs up to our audience, they'll automatically be added to all the groups. So we don't, in this case, we're not going to be asking them what do you want to belong to, we'll just automatically add them to all. And on to the last question for today. Why is the birthday customer journey grayed out? So, sorry, let me just click on Freddie. Let me click on automations. Let's click create customer journey. And let's just call this birthday, just to illustrate the issue that's being addressed here. Click start building, choose a starting point. There's the birthday there. So we could go to dates or special events too. The birthday is a very common customer journey and highly recommended. Restaurants, beauty salons, whatever. And what it does is it looks at as long as you've got the person's birthday, it looks at the birthday and you can set up a series. So 10 days before the birthday, you can send that person an email automatically saying, hey, your birthday's coming up, book your table at our restaurant. 3 days before, you can send another one saying, hey, we look forward to seeing you at the restaurant, whatever the case might be. So the question was, why is it grayed out? So you can see, and I'm trying to click here and I can't, it's grayed out. It's grayed out because you don't have a birthday field. You first need to have a field, a birthday type field or a date type field, but a birthday type field in your audience. Then only will you be able to start building your birthday automation customer journey. So let me just show you very quickly how to add a field. So I didn't spell birthday very well there, did I? But that doesn't matter. We'll click audience. I'll click view contacts just to show you the fields in my audience. And if you look, I'm looking across and I don't have a birthday audience. A birthday field. So to add a field, I can quite simply click settings, audience fields and merge tags. Okay, I don't have a birthday, but if you can see at the bottom here, I have add a field. So I'll click on that and I'll just scroll up a little bit. Now you can see that there's a birthday type field. So if I click the birthday type field, then if I scroll down again, we've got a new field here with the birthday type. So I can call this anything I want to. Let's just call this birthday, for example, and Mailchimp says, what date format do you want? Now, I happen to be in Australia, so we typically use day, month, so I'd select that. But if you're in the US, you might use month, day. It's really up to you. So the birthday field, you don't need a person's year. So you don't need to ask them the year they were born, you just need the day and month. So we'll click Save Changes. And then you can use a form or you can start adding into our audience people's birthdays. So there we go, into their birthdays. But now if I go into my automations, click create, click customer journey, and let's just very quickly create that birthday, start creating that birthday one again, start building, choose a starting point. You'll now notice that I am able to click birthday because I now have that birthday field in my audience. That's it for today. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section of this video. Please like this video. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm Gary from organicweb.com.au.